Orchids are lovely. Either the hybrids or the native species, the large ones and the small ones. They are plants of very slow growth. This is a greenhouse with around some 200 plants. I began collecting their fallen dry bulbs, dry leaves, even their dry flowers. Over 6 months, I gathered less than half a bucket. It will be just enough for making the fanciest paper in the world. Cut the material into bits of uniform size. Add some plain water, regular from the tap. Enough to cover all of the material. Allow it to soak for 24 hours. The following day, drain all of the water. Oops, I really love this table. I better work somewhere else from this point on. You'll need protective goggles and rubber gloves. We're about to handle sodium hydroxide and chlorine. Work in an open ventilated area. A beautiful landscape is a bonus. Measure a tablespoon of sodium hydroxide approximately. Let the lye acting for another 24 hours. It's time to begin to beat up the fibers. Measure yet another tablespoon of sodium hydroxide. Then allow it to react for another day. Let's beat the whole thing again in the blender. This dark black liquid is what the industry calls black liquor. It's not supposed to be discarded in your sink or in nature. It's supposed to be reused or disposed of in a safe manner. Now it's time to wash the pulp. Repeat this step at least some 2 or 3 times. As you can see, the pulp is already getting a little lighter. It is time to use the chlorine to help clean and lighten the pulp even further. Measure half a cup of a 5% solution of sodium hypochlorite. Give it another full day to rest. The following day we have a much lighter pulp. The cellulose fibers begin to stick to each other into larger cohesive lumps. The water with the chlorine also shouldn't be thrown away. You can use it as disinfectant for sinks and toilets. Don't forget to label the bottle and avoid accidents. Wash it another 2 or 3 times and the pulp is almost done. Make yourself a decal out of a wooden frame and a nylon mosquito mesh. Now let's make a shallow pool, a little larger than your decal. Use a brand new piece of the thickest plastic you can find. You could have a problem with even the smallest of the pinholes. Let's beat the pulp in the blender one last time. You may add office paper, up to 30%, to change some of the properties of the paper. The day is almost over. Tomorrow, we'll see what we got.